Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Specialty.Run, a podcast where we try our best to explore the connections between technology and run specialty. It's been a minute since our last episode. I'm Derek Wilkie, and I'm joined by Rob Anderson. Rob, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We've been navigating some technical difficulties for a little bit today, and that is why we're just a few minutes late. So apologies. It's been a cacophony of very interesting small things that has arisen. So
I think we're having some technical difficulties right now because I can't hear you, Rob.
you can't hear me.
You're choppy.
Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see here.
Now I can hear you.
You're listening to me on the monitor as opposed to on the stream. Let me double check here. So, sometimes you just have these days, and as long as it's us and not our customers, I think I'm okay with that.
Well, the best part about this is it's not our technology that's given us the issue.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's see here. Let me give this bad boy a quick listen. You just have these days. Okay, good. Yep, it's the monitor. All right, perfect.
All
And
right.
now I'm sending Apple Cash somewhere. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. It's
It's been a
Friday.
day.
Yep, that's
Yes.
right. Oh,
Well,
boy.
the good news is we're finally back for another episode, and man, I think a lot has happened since our last episode. I mean, we
Dude.
we missed a week for the holidays, and then we were in Trey, and now Christmas comes. Wait a minute, next week?
Yeah, it's next week.
Oh,
Next
it's
week.
it just turned 2025.
I know. And what's funny is it has been such a whirlwind because the running event seems like it was last week. That was a great time. I mean, we saw so many folks, and, as you guys who were at the event know, we opted not to get a booth this year. And I think the consensus among everybody is we're going to do a booth next year. See if I can get on the screen properly. There we go. We're going to get a booth next year just because it's a little bit easier from a central meeting place perspective. But what's wild is I never set foot on the expo floor. I was in sessions and meeting with people the entire time we were there. Never set foot on the expo floor, which is completely bananas. I can't believe that went the way that it did. The nice thing that we got from everybody was that for the most part, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday were exceedingly good for almost everyone that I spoke to. So hopefully those of you who are watching here had the same result. What'd you think, Derek? I thought San Antonio was awesome too.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. It was way bigger than I was expecting it to be. Um, I wasn't really expecting it to be that large. It was honestly so big that it felt like there wasn't as many people there, but like you'd come around the corner and you'd see them and you're like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
It's like it really does. They do it bigger in Texas, and they really do. It's just, there was so many people.
There really were. There really were. And I mean, that event gets bigger every year too. So, I mean, just with that all alone being the case, it was bananas. But nonetheless, we got, and the dev team met and got a ton of stuff put out. I'm sure that for those of you who are on the platform, you've seen all of our updates that we've been pushing, and there are quite a few user experience updates that have come through. We're going to touch on some of those today, but there is a ton of stuff that's coming out, that a lot of which was enabled by a lot of those meetings that we had with you guys, with the brands, and with each other when we were there in San Antone. And yeah, so today's session, and more broadly the next couple shows that we're going to do, some of the feedback that we got, you guys love the waxing philosophically, but really you wanted to see some of the more tactical action. So we've noticed that the theme, both in our conversations with stores, among stores more generally speaking, and as an industry, and in our conversations here, revolves around specialty retail and success being about storytelling more than product, leading with storytelling rather than product, and what that looks like. And so we're going to do some implementation of storytelling on an e-commerce site / website, and talk about it as we go. And our thought here is, and by the way, we haven't practiced any of this, so, try to be cool as we bounce along. But our thought here is that we really wanted to use the tools in real time, especially AI, to kind of give people a feel for, how you might use AI and, say, the page builder and storytelling as a concept on your e-com site. And so we're going to do that today. We're going to start that process today. And then we're going to finish that process the next time we get together. And we've got a special guest that will be joining us somewhere in between and talking a little bit about how they're doing this and what they suggest, and some other cool stuff as well. If you are on the mailing list, you got an email from me this morning that included a link to this show, and also to the AI talk that Steve DeMoss from Big Peach Running and I gave at TRE in San Antonio. If you're not on the mailing list and you did not get that link, if you go to the Run Free Project's YouTube channel, you'll find a new video there that is the AI talk that Steve and I gave in San Antonio for TRE, and hopefully you'll find it as useful as others did. Surprisingly, Steve did the majority of the talking, so you'll be pleasantly surprised by that. And so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Derek, you want to talk a little about what we're going to try and accomplish here?
Yeah. So what we kind of thought that we would do, well, we had a lot of thoughts, but what we came to the conclusion was it would be probably the best place to start would to kind of be around structuring the story. So today what we're going to go through is we're going to go through essentially building a staff page pick. And we're going to go through what the start process of that would look like. We'll add all the elements to the page. We'll add the images. And we're also going to, I think, get into a little bit of using AI kind of to help. It's one of the things I think that our guests will dive into in further depth. But for just kind of just a baseline so that we can see what that would look like, we're going to kind of use AI today to help, fill in the pieces. Is that a good way to say it, Rob? Just
for sure.
Finish the puzzle. Just using the AI to make the process less cumbersome. And then I think by the time we're done with all that, we may not have time to dive into products. That might be the next episode, but we'll see how far we can get in this page today.
Exactly. And what we want to do is emulate as close as possible the idea that whoever's going to be putting this stuff together is going to be trying to piece things together in a less than perfect environment. In other words, if you're doing a staff picks page, you probably have reasonably good bios from 75% of people and pictures from 90%, but maybe they're not all the same size or whatever. And how do you navigate that? And let's just get into it and we'll show you. So this is the Intergalactic Running Company. This is our demo running company. To my knowledge, there is no such thing as the Intergalactic Running Company, but they also have an app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store if you want to go check that out. And play around with the app and our loyalty program and mileage and that kind of thing. But and by the way, this website, intergalacticrunning.com, is our demo site, and it has gotten beaten to death in the past 30 days. So it is a shell of its former self because we've been testing new concepts and a lot of the builds that we've done. And there has been so much new development that's happened from a user experience perspective that it's almost a completely different user experience on the back end. I wouldn't call it different. I would call it upgraded. It's going to look and feel the same way, but you'll see tiny little differences here and there. So,
can I add a piece?
Absolutely, please do.
So I just want to not slide by this because the changes that have come are based off of feedback that we've gotten from our customers and their customers. So a lot of the stuff is stuff you guys wanted to see, and some of the stuff I'm sure is stuff that no one's ever thought about, but a lot of the stuff fills a lot of the pain points that a lot of the retailers have been communicating over 6, 12, 18 months. And I just wanted to slide by that because keep your eyes open. There's definitely going to be some of our retailers who are watching this are going to, oh, that was mine. I requested that. Yep, you totally did.
For sure. And that's how we want to steer our ship, is the feedback that you guys give us, build it into the platform and iterate from there. Because a lot of times we're not in your shoes, so we have no idea what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And it's fascinating to come across some of the feedback that you give. We would have never thought of certain things. So what I'd like to do to kind of start out is show you is do a little bit of a juxtaposition here. And I'm going to start with, this is a very old site. This is a demo site from a while ago, and as you can tell from the footwear here on this page, it hasn't been refreshed in a very long time. The reason that I'm showing this site is that this is the default matrix view for Run Free Project, meaning that when everything gets loaded in through the automated process from your point of sale system and everything gets spun up on the Run Free platform, this is what your store is going to look like, essentially. Products with categories and filters and brands and that kind of stuff on the left, sizes, options, etc. Branded with your branding and that sort of thing. Your customers and your staff log in or sign up here. You can search up here. Your cart is up here. Essentially, it is your standard shopping experience. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this whatsoever. You can get to anywhere that you want to go on this page without any problems. If I swap over here to this tab, thank you very much. My brain's falling apart already. I'm looking at Palmetto Running Company's Run Free e-commerce site. And they've done an absolutely stellar job leading with storytelling and from a design perspective. They always do such a wonderful job with design and storytelling, generally speaking. Their branding is stellar, and the continuity of their branding from the digital to the physical and vice versa is really absolutely top-notch. So huge hats off to Christian and Carrie and everybody there down in South Carolina for rocking it out. What you can see here is that they've got a much more targeted site. So these banners up top are telling me a little bit more about what I should pay attention to as the shopper. And these, as I like to call them, big squishy buttons, are aiming me in a very specific direction that is specific for the season, right? So when we've spoken in the past, the concept of where do I get started and how do I even begin this process, and I may have mentioned, or you may remember me mentioning, if I stuck my head in the front door and asked you what's going on in the store, whatever you respond with is a good place to start. This is kind of that idea, right? So holiday must-haves, gifts for him, gifts for her, etc. This is a really great area to focus. There are two categories or areas of focus that we always tell folks to have as close and available to the shopper as possible, as much as possible, and that is branded gear and gift cards. So branded gear is your store, hats, shirts, water bottles, stickers, etc. Gift cards are gift cards. So being able to go in and purchase a gift card online easily from the homepage is a huge deal, and being able to go in and buy the stuff that's got your name on it from the homepage is a really big deal. Those are going to be extremely popular, in particular during the holiday. But nonetheless, these are a very storytelling centric sort of a concept. And as you scroll down, you start to get a little bit more into a product centric zone, but it's still more of a storytelling, more of a leading kind of conversation, air quotes, here than it is over here. Over here, I sort of have to know what I'm looking for. And, you know, my categories over here give me some degree of navigation help. But again, it's 100% product focus, and ultimately the products that I'm presented with are more of a commodity than the concepts that I'm presented with here. And even from a design perspective, I'm given more of a personalized, customized, you know, store brand centric presentation that feels more dialed in. A hot take that is absolutely the case and will probably make sense to you is that the fewer choices you give your shoppers, the higher the likelihood is that they're going to make a purchase. That was a surprising thing for us to find. It is statistically almost a guarantee. So we have hundreds of stores across the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas, and we see it consistently. When stores create funnels for shoppers to follow a specific call to action like these, and they're given a smaller subset of products that are the suggested curated group of products versus, the everything bucket, the likelihood that they convert from somebody staring at the website into a person making a purchase skyrockets by double-digit percentage points. And so always keeping in mind that the storytelling aspect of design and the thinking of how you do this is as much about making sure that you're getting the maximum effectiveness from your site as it is about presenting what makes you online, to make sure that all the things that make you special are documented so that the search engines know to plug you in at the right times, and so that runners and walkers and everybody else knows when they're searching for something that you're specifically good at, whether that's a custom fitting or pint night or anything else, that you show up in the search results. So I don't want to babble down roads we've already been down, so I'll chill out a little bit, but I did want to give you a couple of examples here where we have a story-centric focus first versus a product-centric focus. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with this, but generally speaking, this strategy is going to bring more buying customers than this one, and will provide a substantially better search engine optimization for the store as well. And at the end of the day, you're showing fewer products. So, as Derek mentioned before, with Intergalactic Running Company, what we would like to do is we want to create a landing page that is our staff picks page. And the reason that we're doing this way, hang on, the reason I'm looking over here is because I'm looking at Derek's face on the board, and I really should be looking at my screen. Anyway, the reason that we're doing this way is because we feel like the staff picks page is probably the most translatable thing from our world of a bunch of software people to your world of the running store with suggestions, etc. If we tried to replicate something else, it may not necessarily translate, and we really want to give you concepts that you can take and actually use. So staff picks is sort of where we landed with that. And the idea here is to highlight the personalities that we have in the store. So when you walk in the front door and you see the faces that you see, you have an opportunity to get to know a little bit about those people and what their preferences and areas of focus are when you're looking online to decide whether you want to come in or not. And also for us to have a call to action from a product's perspective. The storytelling first over products first concept is harder to start than products first. It's easy to arrange products in a store in comparison. And everybody's got tons of extra time just lying around, as we know, right? So how do you maximize this as best as possible without losing your mind? We're going to show you that too, and the answer is AI. So, a couple quick things. If you're not familiar with the Run Free project platform, and Run Free generally speaking, Derek and I are both Run Free-ers, which is why we're using it. It's the fastest and easiest way to accomplish anything when it comes to e-commerce and online stuff as a run specialty or specialty retail store in general. And, you know, we're going to pump our own wares, of course, since we have a platform here. But we do try to do as little pumping as possible because this really is about having conversations about strategy and not trying to sell you stuff. But obviously, we're going to take advantage of our own stuff when we can. And I would like to mention that if and when you come in to do something similar to this or bring the concepts that we talk about today and in future episodes into your own stores, when you have questions, comments, concerns, dirty jokes, or fashion advice, down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there is I call it a smiley face. I guess that's what it is. It's a smiley brick. You click that little blue circle down in the bottom right-hand corner, and the first place that you pop up is our help center. This is where documentation is. So you search for whatever it is you're looking for help for, and that's going to give you step-by-step instructions and likely a video. If you don't find step-by-step instructions or what you're looking for, you can click messages here and then this send us a message button and type a message. This is the fastest way to get help. So when you type a message here, it goes directly to the staff. It's usually Derek that's going to answer first. Sometimes David, me, Dave, everybody has access to this. And basically it's first come, first serve. And, you know, when it gets busy, it especially gets distributed amongst all of us. But you're going to get Sorry, go ahead.
It should have a label that says send us a text because it's that fast.
Really. You're going to get a response within a couple seconds to a minute or two. You know, this is meant to be a conversation. This is not meant to look like an email exchange. This is meant for you to send us a message and then hang out for a couple seconds and get a response. There's no AI here that you have to trick to get through like you do at Walgreens in order to get to the pharmacist. It is a direct message to our team. And so if you need help, message here, fastest way to go. You can certainly email support@runfreeproject.com, and that will essentially come to the same place. But if you're looking for the fastest possible assist, this is the place. Okay, enough of that. So we're going to be focused on this layout area. There's going to be two things that we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is create the page and the content for the page, and that's going to be the focus of today. The second thing we're going to do is create the collections of products that are the staff picks and then insert them into the page. And that may be today, but given the time, it's probably going to be the next time that we get together. So in this layout area, if you click on pages, this gives us an area where we can create a web page of any kind with a block-based builder. And this, what I mean by block-based builder is we have content blocks over here on the left-hand side. A lot of these are new. The layout of this page is all brand new. And you take one of these content blocks and tap, and it creates this here, and you basically just fill this out. And these content blocks stack on top of each other to generate a fully dynamic, responsive web site that works on all screen types and sizes and doesn't have to have 6 different versions, for one for iPad, one for the phone, one for the computer. It automatically builds all that stuff. It is an extraordinarily easy way to build a website in any way that you can possibly think of, and it is an easy way to customize an e-commerce store. And it is no additional charge. So if you're a Run Free subscriber, this is available to you right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is give this page a title, and we're going to call it Staff Picks. Now, you know that we are a it's intergalactic running company, right? So it's the same thing. So we're a space-based running company, the very first space-based running company. And so we'll kind of stick with the space theme, I think. And I'm just going to play here and put space-based running into keywords, because at the end of the day, meta keywords are no longer used in SEO by Google search or any of the AI tools. So you don't really need those any longer. The galaxy's first space-based run specialty retailer and wig store. Okay. So, the first thing that we're going to do is I made this title with overlay, and this is title video with overlay, and this is really cool. So what we can do is actually have a video that plays on a loop with a title on top of it. And you can post a video that is an MP4. If you want to upload an MP4 to your own hosting area, you can. But if you have, Vimeo, YouTube, anything like that, you can link to a video from one of those, and it will post it there. And that's what I would suggest doing. So we're going to go over to YouTube real quick. There's this pop-up. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Let's call it Space Flight B-roll. So one little trick here, B-roll is basically like background video. B-roll is something that might play in the background while the credits are rolling after a movie or something like that. I picked the worst possible search too, didn't I? Let's see. Let's just do space. There we go. Travel the universe. Now, we don't need the music, but that's okay. We're just taking the video. So we're going to copy. I go down here to share. I go to copy the URL, and then I'm going to jump back. I'm going to turn off my Palmetto. Jump back here to Intergalactic, paste, Now I'm going to remove this just because I like to remove that, but that's the link to the video. Our heading here is staff picks, and my text size is going to be large. My description is going to be the best products from around across the universe. And I can add a button here if I want to. And then I can have a URL that the button goes to, and I can have an icon that sits on the button. I'm not going to add a button on this because this is the introduction to a page. So I'm going to leave those blank. But I'm going to have the video muted because we don't want to go MySpace 1999 on anybody. We'll do a dark overlay so that there's like a good contrast, and we're going to give our video height half. You'll see what that means here in just a second. And I'm going to hit save page. Oh, there's already, I was messing with this earlier. So this is content staff picks. We're going to call it 2. So what happened is it auto-generated an SEO-friendly page URL based on the title that I created. And then when I tried to save it, it gave me an error that said there's already a page called that. So now the page has been saved, and I have the ability to preview it. So I'm going to go here and preview. And as you can see, I've now got staff picks, the best products from across the universe, and my little space video playing in the background. And half,
That's the coolest thing ever.
I know, I love it too. Half means that my video is this height. So if I go back here to my builder and I click full and save, I go back here to my page and reload it, you'll see that this thing is gigantic. Probably not the right move for this particular setup, but I wanted to show you what that meant. And you'll see half, 3/4, and full on all kinds of different image related things. That just gives you different spacing for banners, and you can do a bunch of different spacing for banners. So that gives us our title, and we've got our kind of starting point. So the first thing that we want to do here is probably give ourselves a search bar. No, let's give ourselves a title, and let's do image and text. Let's do basic text. So the basic text that we want to put in here is, I don't know. I'm not feeling super creative at the moment either. So let me go see if I've got any. Let me take a look over here on Intergalactic Running Company. Okay. So I made this page about where Kang and Kodos founded the company. A while back. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy it. This is just a welcome page that I use to populate the mobile app. I'm going to go over here to ChatGPT. So this is just regular old ChatGPT. And this is a little bit silly, okay? So I'll be the first to admit this. But the object here is I wanted to show you a workflow that uses AI through the entire workflow so you can kind of see how somebody might use AI to assist, especially if you're busy and not feeling particularly creative when you have to create content. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, I'd like to create a staff picks landing page for my Run Specialty retail store. This page is going to be a centerpiece of my website for a season. So I'd like to focus on maximizing the value of the copy we produce here for SEO and terms you'd expect people to include in running related searches. Let's see, value of the copy we produce here, and for SEO in terms you expect related searches to I'm not feeling particularly creative, so I'm going to give you a brief overview about the store, and I need you to create an interesting introduction for my staff picks page that isn't boring based on this small bit of info I have. This is a bit of a parody page, so the space-based focus is key, and feel free to be funny. Here's that copy. And then whenever I paste anything, hang on here. There we go. Whenever I paste anything to ChatGPT, I'll put it in quotations so it knows. So there we go. So now I'm going to ask for some assist. So it says, here's a SEO aware, playful, space themed intro that works as a seasonal centerpiece. So now I've got this little section here, and I can literally take it and steal it. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to drop it over here on my notepad that you can't see. The reason that I'm dropping it on the notepad is because by putting it on the notepad, it removes all potential formatting. So if I'm copying anything from one page and planning on putting it into another page, it's always a good idea to put it into Notepad or something like that to remove formatting before pasting it. This is with any tool, just to kind of help things out and make it easier to format, because if you paste a bunch of HTML, trying to edit that becomes impossible. So let's read through it. Welcome to Mission Control for runners. You've officially landed at Intergalactic Running Company. Home to some very real opinions. Here's the staff picks, blah, blah, blah. So poke things, enjoy the ride. Okay. So as you see, even with text, I still had to format a little bit. Now this is a lot of text, which I'm sure you were surprised to see from me and from my AI, right? I'm going to go back here to my preview. So this is a good bit of text. I could probably cut this down, but we're not going to go super crazy because I know we need to move along and we're quickly running out of time. But what you can see is that I am not feeling super creative. I took what amounts to essentially the lamest copy ever. I forgot to close my quotes as well, but I put the lamest copy ever in here and asked ChatGPT with a little bit of poking and prodding to help me out. And honestly, this isn't that bad. I mean, it's a little lame, but I'm a little lame. So, it's not that far off. So we got ourselves our introduction. We're going to go back here to the page, and we're going to start with a person. So for image and text, let's start with Jeff. And we're going to call him the mad scientist.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, please. Yeah, by all means.
So one thing I wanted to touch upon where he was like, it's just very basic text. Keep in mind, we're simplifying this on purpose so that it's easily digested because this is a lot of information. The cool thing about this is as you guys get more advanced and you guys get more familiar with the platforms that you're using, I'm going to specifically call out our platform, but we have the capabilities to get as in depth as you want. So if you have the ability to, like, you know, ChatGPT, what did I do for somebody the other day? I created an entire review section through ChatGPT, and it spit me out this really cool code, and I didn't understand any of it, but I was able to test it, and it worked, and I wanted to throw that out there because it's like, what we're doing here today is going to be a very beginner on purpose, but don't feel like you can't play with it and have fun with it because it gets very fun when you start, diving in and playing with it.
Definitely. And we really want to show you kind of the basics of an AI-based workflow as well. Okay, so before we got on here, I went around and asked the guys to give me some info on like a bio and some of their opinions on things. And everybody's busy, so I got varying degrees of info as far as bio is concerned. And I asked for a picture, and I got varying sizes and depths of pictures. So for this instance, what I've done is I've actually had AI create a few pictures based on the pictures that I was given to kind of make them silly, so that they would all be the same size and all have some consistency around them and all kind of feature comic-like silliness. Obviously, you don't have to do that, and that's probably something that you would want to run past people before you do. But when you look at these pictures and wonder, what is he doing? This is exactly why. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm doing an image with text. Okay. So I've added Jeff, the mad scientist, and now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add my Jeff picture, and I'm going to have my image on. Do we want to do image on the left or image on the right? So it'll be image on one side, text on the other. What do you think, Derek? Image on left or image on right to start with? Oh,
sorry,
that's
my
okay.
phone wasn't working. I always like to start image on the left side.
Okay, cool.
I just think it looks better left, right.
Totally. All right, so let me go up here and grab his info. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, I asked each of my staff members to provide a bio that gives some background on them and their thinking variety of responses. I'm going to give them...
You're in the middle of ChatGPT, but Jeff just typed in a comment of a pro tip to remove formatting, it looks like.
Oh, nice.
It says Command-Shift-V will remove formatting.
Oh, that's dope. I did not know that. So when you're pasting, if you hit Command-Shift-V and probably Control-Shift-V, if you're not on a Mac, then that's going to remove formatting without having to go to the notepad first. Wow, that's dope. I did not realize that. Let's see. I've got a variety of responses. I'm going to give them to you, and I'd like you to edit them for clarity and brevity, but also pump them up with creativity and give them all a bit of a like for like voice, so the collection reads as a single speaker on the page. Here's Jeff's. All right, so I pasted what Jeff sent. Now we're going to send this over to good old ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to kiss my ass, pardon my French, and then we're going to get here. Let's see. Did you send next bios? Okay, cool. So great. This is awesome. So now I'm just
Rob,
going to copy. Yeah.
can you do me a favor? I'm gonna switch devices real quick. Can you let me in our Zoom real quick? I'm gonna try. Jeff says my audio is echoey, so I want to try to adjust this while you're doing it.
Oh no. Yes.
I'm gonna move over to my desktop.
Let me turn you off on in the background as well. Okay. See if that works.
So I'm joined.
Did we lose Derek's sound altogether, or do we still have Derek's sound, Jeff, wherever
My
you
sound
are?
should be. You should hear me.
Okay. Do we still have the echo? Say something, Derek.
Give me one. Now you shouldn't have any echo.
Okay. Cool. That may be completely my fault. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Do I still have you?
I'm here.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to try this trick. Control Shift. Dun, 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 dun. That did work. Cool. Okay. So what I've done is I've had ChatGPT but adjust the bio for me. And I've taken this and now pasted it in here. And again, this is really primarily for concept and not necessarily for content quality, but you get the idea. We now have Jeff the Mad Scientist as our first entry. We're going to go through and do a couple of members of the staff, and then the next time we get together, beneath each person on staff, we will do their picks. And depending on the feedback that you guys give us between now and the next episode, we can do a page that belongs to each person, or we can just do their picks beneath. In either case, my next person, let me add them right here. So I just clicked image with text again. I'll go image on the right so that I'm flip-flopping back and forth. And we'll go David the Daredevil. And I'm going to add him here. All right. So let me see if I can find where David sent me. There we go. All right. So back to ChatGPT. Okay. So I'd like you to keep all of those suggestions in mind, please. Here's David's entry. All right. Okay. So now I've got David's here. Now, the difference between what I'm doing right now and what I would do if I were building this in IRL is that I would have ChatGPT, I would have my version, I would have ChatGPT generate a version, and then I would take pieces from both and have a final. I find that usually if you take and, ChatGPT does a better version of being descriptive with one sentence that it has versus one that you weren't as clear with, then you can swap them out, something along those lines. But if you do like a full swap, you kind of lose your voice a little bit. So just a heads up there. But here you go. This is David here. And again, we're just getting this stuff entered in. So I save my page, go back here. So now you can see I'm going back and forth. So I got David the Daredevil, Jeff the Mad Scientist. And let me see okay. It is 2:07. So I am running out of time, and I'm getting the flag that I need to shut up. So what we're going to do between now and the next episode is we'll put the rest of the guys on here behind the scenes, and then we'll get some feedback from you guys on what you want to see as far as how we proceed to the next step. Do you want a page per person so we can create a staff picks dedicated, or do you want us to add the products beneath the people? The idea here again is we want to demonstrate leading with storytelling rather than as an alternative to leading with product, and give you some use cases where that's taking place, and also give you examples of AI in a workflow in applying that stuff, so you can take the ideas that we're showing you here and use them in your own setup. Again, a lot of this stuff is super simplified for the process of trying to make this shorter than multiple hours, because I run my mouth forever. But at the end of the day, the hope is that you get a good idea of the concept here. As always, if you have suggestions, please do let us know. We love getting feedback from you guys. The feedback that we got from you on the last couple of episodes was amazing. I love that Derek's now zoomed in way further than I am. So Derek's like twice the size of me. I love that. We should keep it that way. I'm going to do that next time, where you're twice the size of me, or I'm like three times your size. Yeah. Oh man.
It's like the stair thing. I could just
the elevator. Oh yeah. But anyway, we will not take the rest of your day. We do apologize for being a little later than usual today, and we do thank you for being patient. You are deeply appreciated, and hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season if we don't see, hear, or talk to you between now and the next episode.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, guys, and remember, we're grateful for you.
We are. Cheers all.